rises 400%. The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected along the New Jersey shoreline, across the Harlem River, and down along the Brooklyn shoreline. It completely surrounds Manhattan Island. All bridges and waterways are mined. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped around the island. There are no guards inside the prison, only prisoners and the worlds they have made.
I am terrible.
Medieval slang.
I rap about God and it's hard. Hey y'all, we got some cold days ahead of us. They trying to get rid of us. In their plan syllabus, we're conjuring insidious. I look at us, bickering, crying of things frivolous and things that really matter.
Never take it serious.
Time that we living in, all they after is dividends. So when it all crumbles, no knowledge of primitive. Off the grid, will you survive and stay healthy? No more sliding in the DMs or taking selfies. Look at what they sacrificed, earthy to be wealthy. You follow that path, you bound to face wrath. Messengers that went to pass orders were all slaughtered. That's all across 360 term to four corners. Luckily the king and the fiend are all goners. We in the latter moments, submit to the atonement. Instead pride and ego lead you down below and never ending fuego. Don't wanna go where they go. I rap about God and it's hard. 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 And it's hard. Yo, you wanna hear stories enabling foul behavior? Not over here, player. My speech is far major. I can tell you how they move short-lived. This ain't finale. Tear shit from family to get to the Morgan Stanley. This terrain breeds jealousy, envy, lust, and hatred. Doomed since the moon made the sun know he was naked. That's parabolic talk. Gotta study to be approved. And once approved, you can move mountains. Keep fighting for that fountain, not for no loot boutings. No trust, all doubting, or war just shouting. So many wiles I done lost counting. Is this what we amounting? Is it just surrender? Join them, can't beat them. Even the Father give us choice of freedom. Is this the reason? Keep facing beatings from wrongs, no retreating. And we die for the things they feeding. You heard it, keep reading. That's all I wanna do, to hopefully be allowed stand in front of you. I rap about God and it's hard. 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 And it's hard. It's hard.
Salute, salute, peace, 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 peace. We alive, we alive, we alive. Godspeed with another one. The presentation tonight is continuing in the series of Hidden in Plain Sight. And the presentation is it really science fiction? Is it really science fiction? They hide a lot of things in plain sight. They hide a lot of things in movies, in television series, Netflix series, right? if you're old enough and you can go back 20, 30, 40 years to different movies and television shows, you can see them being played out now in this time, which is what they do. That is how they operate. That's how they communicate. And when I refer to they, talking about the elites, the rulers of this world, the ones sitting in them high places. So we're going to get to it. And I'm going to start with a trailer of a movie that is actually the picture, the icon used for this topic for tonight, for this presentation. All right. Godspeed. Thank you for tapping in. This is going to be a good one. I'm hoping that, you know, by the grace of God, everything that I've been presenting so far has been good and it's been serving its purpose, right? And that's the whole gist of what's going on, sharing the information for those that don't know or may have heard of something like this and really never had it fully explained to them. And as always, if you believe, praise God. If you don't, praise God, you have your liberty. You can believe what you want. All I'm doing is presenting information. And if the information presented is proven to be factual, then there should be no arguing with what's factual. Should only be conceding. That's it. So again, hidden in plain sight. Is it really science fiction? So I'm going to start off with this trailer, and then we're going to go into it. All I'm doing is just laying it out. I'm just presenting the information. I'll leave it for you to decide. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look.
They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them. Stay away from me. Put these on. They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere. Our owners.
We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business. Ain't none of yours.
We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble. Control us. You're sending some kind of secrets on a TV set.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go.
Push a button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick and I'm all out of bubblegum.
So that movie is They Live, for those that know. You know, it came out in 89, I believe. And that movie, starring Roddy Piper, Keith David. Roddy Piper had found these shades that allowed him to see hidden messages. Basically, a metaphor for him being able to see what other people cannot see. The director of the movie, John Carpenter, when interviewed about it, he said that this was not a science fiction movie, that it actually was a documentary. And if you saw They Live, then you saw what it was about. Entities, beings from somewhere else, posing as human beings, but underneath the human skin was some type of reptile skin. Their natural skin was some type of reptile skin. And they showed in the movie, for those that didn't see it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go watch the movie if you want to watch it, but it's a classic. It's what they call a quote-unquote cult classic, and the director of the film said it was not a movie. Let me share that. So let's read it. This is from a site called The Ringer. Again, everything that I share in the presentations will be in the description, so you can go back and review it yourself. John Carpenter's They Live was supposed to be a warning. We didn't heed it. We didn't even understand it. The horror master's most prescient movie has nothing to do with serial killers or vampires. It's about greed and propaganda, and it's truer than ever. So this will be in the description, and you can go through it. I'm gonna start from right here. You have to understand something, he told Yahoo in 2015. It's a documentary. It's not science fiction. So you can read it and you can go through it and see everything that he mentioned and the things in correlation to it being more so a documentary rather than a movie, a science fiction movie. But when you read, you'll see, not just in this article, but if you just research and see the actual comment that he made some comparisons in regards to the time with Reagan and how things was during the time of Ronald Reagan. So just thinking about that and knowing the type of movie it was, or it is, in regards to entities from another planet or realm or whatever that appeared to be human, but were not human at all. They were aliens of some sort. So it had me thinking, and I went and I got something that I remembered in regard to Ronald Reagan and some interesting things that he said on a couple, well, 3 exactly, that I'm about to present. The information, basically presenting my case. Listen to this.
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us, we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, you know, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
Very interesting. Very interesting. 3 separate occasions, 3 major speeches. The former president, Ronald Reagan, made reference of the idea of an alien invasion, an alien threat, and how all humans would come together to fight this alien threat. Let me continue. Let us continue. As they say, I guess I'm showing my age with some of these clips, and it's a good thing. I'm proud to show my age. Before I get to that, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Make sure everything is right, because I have something that goes with this clip that I'm about to play, just to show the subtleties that, you know, that are done right in our face and we don't see it. So let's get to it. I got it ready for y'all now. Here we go.
The visitors arrived in 50 gigantic motherships, which stunned the world with their monumental size and power.
We have come in peace because we need your help. And in return, we will gladly share with you all the fruits of our knowledge.
Talk about an offer we can't refuse, huh?
I wonder what would happen if we did.
Manufacturing plants around the world were retooled to produce chemicals the visitors need for survival on their planet. In the weeks that followed, the visitors became a new and friendly part of our lives.
You got a movie?
I do not.
As the clip is playing of the trailer, I want you to look at all the quote unquote visitors, as they're called, that are in red and black, and look at the emblem that is on their left chest area. Look at the emblem. Take a good look at it. A good look at it.
Yes.
A visitor youth organization was formed, encouraging teenagers to join their ranks. The visitors were quickly assimilated into our culture.
I'm not very good at this.
Many close relationships developed between our people and theirs. But there were some who were skeptical, too inquisitive. They began to quickly disappear. And then
the world was shocked today when Nobel Prize winner Dr. Maurice Jankowski of the Brussels Biomedical Institute in Belgium held a press conference to reveal the existence of an international conspiracy against the visitors.
Jankowski had unshakable proof that a conspiracy of scientists around the world was about to seize control of visitor ships for their own gain. A groundswell of resentment and prejudice quickly built against the world scientific community.
I can't work for you no more.
Because my husband is a scientist?
Yeah, he wrecked it up, said I was just a dirty little scientist kid.
Another biochemist, Phyllis. She didn't show today, just like Ruth and all the others.
No truth to those rumors.
Shall I stay then? See you, Daddy.
Becoming more deeply suspicious of the visitors, news cameraman Mike Donovan infiltrated one of the huge motherships and discovered that the visitors had orchestrated the conspiracy themselves so that scientists would be ostracized around the world. And Donovan also videotaped another startling revelation.
Did you just see that? This was on TV. This was on TV in 1983. I was 9 going on 10. And we know we could look at the visual effects now and they look very cheesy, but back then it was like, oh snap.
And Donovan also videotaped another startling revelation.
So again, showing alien-esque presence, as they would say, you know, referring to them as aliens that have reptile skin underneath human skin. So we saw it with They Live. And if you know that movie, and if you've seen that movie, and if you watched V, and you know the idea and the premise of the show, kind of similar. Kind of similar. So as far as the story, but when you look at what's going on with the quote-unquote aliens and how they have human skin, but underneath is really reptile skin. Is it a coincidence? This is all around the time that Reagan is the president as well. And you see those 3 different speeches of him speaking of the possibility, what if? Those what ifs are not empty. They don't come out of nowhere. So let's continue.
But as Donovan's tape was about to be broadcast,
just don't.
Hey, somebody's pulled a.
You watch the show, you see that they took over, they was in charge of everything. They took over the airways, they took over media, they was in politics, everything. Everything.
TNT right out from under us. The whole damn network's off the air.
Look, we know what's happening. Totalitarian suppression of the truth. Not only on television, but they've got the papers too. We are under martial law.
And paranoia.
You've got to be more careful what you say.
What, in my own house?
He lives here.
You don't really think you're calling, do you?
Mike Donovan has become a fugitive. Scientist Robert Maxwell and his family, unable to escape the visitor's tightening net, have been given refuge by Abraham Bernstein, a survivor of
what I said?
tightening net.
Keep looking and analyzing the emblem. Keep remembering the emblem. I'm going to show you something.
Given refuge by Abraham Bernstein, a survivor of Hitler's death camps.
They have to stay, or else we haven't learned a thing.
And the resistance movement has begun. The theft of equipment for a biochemical lab, spearheaded by med student Juliet Parrish and Dr. Ben Taylor, who was mortally wounded.
Oh my God!
For victory, you understand? Go tell your friends.
And now, the conclusion of V.
They got their way up in politics. Great show. I think it was on for like 2 or 3 years, and then that was it. So let's continue. More hidden in plain sight. Is it really science fiction? Is it science fiction? Let's get another one. But before I do that, before I share that, I said in regards to the emblem to pay attention to that for a reason. I'm going to share something. Something that I noticed. I noticed this. This is not, again, as I always say, the information that I share in regards to the presentation, the information that I'm going into is not something that I can state claim that I'm the only one that knows or whatever. This is information that is known. When it's something that I might see from my studies or research, I'll let it be known that it's something that I see. And I have something tonight, and I'm going to share it, and you let me know if I'm bugging out or not. This is the logo. Right. This is the logo. But I see something in this logo. Let me see if you see what I see. Do you see what we see? Let me see if you see what we see. That's the logo, but this is what I see. Can you see it? Or am I tripping? Look at the regular logo. Do you see it? If you don't see it, you can say you don't see it. My bro Boom said he sees absolutely. It's funny, I never noticed it as a kid. I never noticed it as a kid. But I found it interesting. I saw it, you know, watching the show recently, and it just struck me. I said, wait a minute, that kind of looks like this. And the lines that go across where the two dots are, the two dots was placed there, I'm assuming, to, you know, replace it. But it would be the exact measurement. So that's that with V, right? Again, all these links will be in the description. This was another major one. Let's get this one ready.
Sir, I think you should listen to this. This better not be another damn Russian spy job. From air traffic red, say the skies are clear. It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
President, our intelligence tells us the object is settled into a stationary orbit. Part of it is broken off into nearly 36 other pieces, smaller than the whole, sir. Yet over 15 miles in width themselves.
Where are they heading?
They should be entering our atmosphere within the next 25 minutes.
They're quick. Let's just get there as quickly as possible.
What's the rush, huh? Think we'll get to Washington and won't be there?
It is confirmed. The unexplained phenomenon is heading for Moscow.
It's like a chess. First, their position their pieces use this one signal to synchronize their efforts. And then what? Checkmate.
God.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
I hope they bring back Elvis.
There's gonna be a lot of frightened people out there. Yeah. I'm one of them.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Nothing you want to add to this briefing, Captain Hiller?
No, sir. I'm just a little anxious to get up there and whoop ET's ass, that's all.
Another one that was put out there. Is it really science fiction? In V, we saw the same thing, these big motherships that came the planet, and that's the planet. What are we being prepped for? What is humanity being prepped for? That should be the question. Let's get the next one. Let's get the next one. And then we're gonna switch lanes. So I'm tapping in fast with the quote unquote alien invasion and so-called outer space beings. And then I'm going to switch lanes real quick. All in the same vein of hidden in plain sight, really science fiction.
What is that? White House is coming out live.
My fellow Americans, this is a momentous occasion. It is profoundly moving to know there is intelligent life out there, alien life, and our world will never feel quite the same again. Once you believe.
Martians, please come to Earth, please.
Once you rise above fear.
Annihilate! Kill! Kill!
Let's not be too rash. Then you'll be invited.
Hi there. Are you interested in the White House?
To meet with a new people.
Same deal.
It's happening at the beginning of the new millennium.
More powerful than the might of America.
I'll tell you one thing, they ain't getting the TV.
More advanced than the brains of Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a cultural misunderstanding.
But be prepared for a few changes to what we know and love.
You're Tom Jones, right? It ain't unusual.
As we must learn to dance.
Girls, get out!
To a new tune. Jack Nicholson. Whoa. Why can't we all just get along? Glenn Close.
Kick the crap out of them.
Pierce Brosnan.
What, in your view, are some of the things that the Martians can teach us, Professor?
Quite a lot about Mars, I expect, Natalie.
That means
Danny DeVito.
You want to conquer the world? You're gonna need lawyers, right?
And Annette Bening.
I think they've come to save us.
From director Tim Burton.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Mr. President.
Mars attacks. Not anymore. We're going to take charge of this thing.
Again, another one showing an invasion of ships, but in a more comedic form. All right, let's switch lanes real quick. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. Until I get to a specific one to something else. Let me get this next clip ready to go. Hold on one second. All right, got it. Again, I'm just presenting the information. You believe, praise God. If you don't, praise God, you have your liberty. I'm just sharing information. All right, hold on one second. Yeah, that was done wrong. 1 second, y'all. Give me a second.
Monkey is captured. Bound for a pet store in America, the animal carries a deadly virus.
Now, I know that some of us have doubts about what we're about to do. We'd be less than human if we didn't. Perhaps the world is in our hands. We cannot, we dare not. He will do his duty. God forgive us.
Your town is being quarantined.
We got 19 dead. We got 100 more infected. It's spreading like a brush fire.
What are you talking about?
If one of them's got it, then we got 19 dead. We got 100 more infected. It's spreading like a... We got 19 dead. We got 100 more infected. It's spreading like a brush... We got 19 dead. We got 100 more infected. It's spreading like a brush... We got 19 dead. We got 100 more infected. It's spreading like a brush fire.
What are you talking about?
If one of them's got it, then 10 of them have got it now. And if one of them gets out of Cedar Creek, we have a very interesting problem.
If that bug gets out of there, 260 million Americans will be dead or dying.
I'm leaving with the team in an hour.
From the heart of a small California town.
Damn it, Sam, I want to save these people same as you.
To the inner circle of power in Washington.
The most optimistic projection for the spread of the virus is this: 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours.
The greatest medical crisis of all time.
We can't stop it.
Begins. Greatest medical crisis of all time. The 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 greatest medical crisis of all time.
We can't stop it.
Begins.
Try to remain calm. Many people are dying and are going to continue to die unless we find this monkey.
There will be panic the likes of which we have never seen.
There you are!
Attention, Portland residents, citizens of San Diego, residents of Atlanta, Denver residents of Detroit, attention, Dallas residents, citizens of Chicago.
It could have been 25 dead. It could have been 50 dead. It could have been 40 dead. 19 dead. 19 in a movie called Outbreak. And we seen that with 19 dead, as was stated in the movie. Maybe not to the extreme as was presented in the movie, but it definitely was a time, something that was not done within this generation. Right? And other movies that's out there. If you know of any other movies that's similar, you can put in the comments. Right. If you know any other movies, you could put them in the comments. Right. So then we have the next one. We have the next one. So we seen with the last clip with the trailer of the movie Outbreak, a prime example of something like that you can ask yourself whether it's science fiction or not, because you went through the experience, there was, you cannot enter without having your face covered with a mask. So we seen it. You lived through it, you seen it. It's all a matter of when whatever they present and show in a movie is given the green light to be activated. Again, if you believe, praise God. If you don't, praise God, you have your liberty. Let's get the next one. All right.
I went online this morning and I rented us a beautiful house out by the beach. I figured if I made the reservation and packed our bags, it would eliminate most of the reasons to say no.
Oh, this is nice. Kids look so happy.
The Wi-Fi isn't working. Get a pad.
I'm so sorry to bother you, but this is our house.
This is your house?
We were driving back to the city, then something happened.
You want to stay here, but we're staying here.
We need to get them out of here.
I need to think everything's gonna be okay.
Everything is going to be okay, isn't it?
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
Something is happening, and I don't.
Now, if you watch the news, if you're in tune with current events, this is something that's been going on and being spoken about for a few years now. Cyber attacks and cyber threats and hackers and so forth and so on. And that idea has been showcased and displayed in a lot of movies going back into the 80s. They keep presenting the ideas in movies, in television, of what they have planned to implement for real. It's all a matter of the time when they decide to do so. And keep in mind who was the force behind this movie in particular right here.
I don't trust them.
Everything I know, I have told you.
I don't believe you.
I would do anything to protect my family. What you do is your business.
Get in the car right now!
Absolutely possible. Absolutely possible.
Haven't you been picking up on what's going on out there?
Whatever it is, it's happening to all of us.
I just want to know what is the truth.
Absolutely possible. Again, the talk has been going on now for a few years in regards to different scenarios of the grid being tampered with. Facts. Absolutely. Has been spoken about for quite some time. So how many times does it take for people to see this and not label it a coincidence? There's another one with the same, with a piece of the same premise. Let me get it real quick. I didn't have it in my rotation for tonight, but I saw it earlier and I had to get it real quick to show it because of the reality of the possibilities. The reality of the possibility of this happening, which was just displayed in the last movie trailer. That was happening from a cyber attack and from EMP attacks, which is this scene right here.
Said it wasn't real.
The movie is called Knock on the Cabin. Those are planes falling out the sky electric pulse, which sucks up everything that's electric. All power sources.
The skies will
batteries,
fall and crash to the earth like pieces of glass.
Everything.
And God's fingers will scorch the earth. And an everlasting darkness will descend over humanity.
We now have confirmation of as many as 700 airplanes having crashed without warning, without issuing distress calls, amid fears and increasing speculation there may have been a coordinated cyber attack on the plane's flight management system.
I've heard this before.
TSA has yet to issue a statement. Airports around the globe are canceling flights.
See? Hold on one second. Yep. Again, just a hint of the reality of what can possibly happen through a cyber attack, through an EMP strike. I'm not saying this to get anybody fearful. I'm saying it for people to be aware of the possibilities. If you travel, car, train, plane, walking, you travel by the grace and the mercy of the Supreme Being, the Most High God, who controls life and death. So whenever it's the time to go, it's the time to go. And no one has control over that. But that's the reality. You can be on a plane, and that happened. You could be on a ship, on a cruise, and that happens. And you just stuck in the sea. Stuck. The possibilities are real. Let's go on. Another possibility, all based on the climate of how things are, especially in this country politically, just because of the climate. The possibility is real. It can happen.
States have seceded. The United States Army ramps up activity. The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The future president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California.
If you saw this movie, it opens up with New York under attack. How the other movie that was presented, Leave the World Behind, it ended with New York being attacked. You can see New York being attacked. They show you that clearly. Jets flying over New York and bombing the city. That's how this movie starts off.
Have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you just think of Escape from New York? They also have an Escape from Los Angeles. There's no other areas that movies were made for, excuse me, of escaping from a place. Maybe Escape from Alcatraz, but New York and California, Los Angeles is for a reason. Those both are on a coast. New York is on the East Coast. Los Angeles is on the West Coast. Both capable of getting hit with different means of destruction, which I'm going to present the reality of the possibilities.
Regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens. We're moving to DC today.
You need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Flooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? We're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move!
We're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God. And justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
The idea of a civil war is not something far-fetched, especially with the climate of how things are and the divide within politics itself, with the right and the left in super odds with one another. The left hates the right with a passion. And I could and eventually it can lead to something. Out of nowhere. While some will say they're science fiction, right? Some may say it's science fiction. That's the question I'm asking. Is it science fiction? Is it really science fiction? Or is it something that's hidden in plain sight? Let's go on. You get the next one. Next one ready. No. Godspeed, sister. Godspeed. All right, let me get the next one.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful what a wonderful
Again, the possibilities are real. Another plane. The ability to control weather and create weather. While the creator created the order of seasons and the various weather conditions, the enemy of all righteousness is able to do the same things. He's able to do the same things. It's not as the Most High does it, but they have their technology where they do these things. And I'm going to present that. I'm going to present that and show you the possibilities of things that man can do. It's just funny. One time, I'm gonna be honest, one time I didn't believe this myself. In my naivety, I didn't, believe this myself when I was entangled in another frame of mind from a doctrine that I was following. But this doesn't take anything away from the Almighty, not one bit, but it shows the capability of the enemy of the Almighty. And I'm not going to say the cliche name and title. You know who's the enemy of the Almighty. So it's funny. I said in a just a sidebar. I said in a rhyme, the only harp I know is the one that David played. He exists. Ain't no magic tricks. No David Blaine. In regards to, there being any quote unquote ability of man to create, or to what I won't use that word create, to be able to make or mimic is a more better word, what God can do. And we see that they've done that with cloning and stem cell and all kind of things that they've done this with. So the idea of them being able to manipulate the weather is not far-fetched. When something is of God, you know it's of God. Anyway, HAARP, which is located in Alaska, and this will be in, again, in the description, all the links that were used for the presentation. I'm gonna have this in the description, but I'm just showing what I'm getting into, and I'm gonna have a documentary played so to better explain HAARP. Get that ready right now. And, you know, this is something from the 90s that I'm gonna present.
In 1993, the FAA started warning pilots to stay away from a certain section of airspace over Alaska. The U.S. government was experimenting with a new breed of high-altitude electronic technology that was significantly altering the Alaskan airspace. The experiments continue to this day, and critics are warning that this project could have global effects that will destroy our planet.
In Alaska, the rugged, pristine wilderness is timeless, most of it remaining just as it has for thousands of years. In the midst of all this natural beauty, just outside the small town of Gakona, stands an enormous and seemingly harmless antenna farm. It is a $100 million Air Force project known as HAARP, and critics of the soon-to-be completed facility charge it just may turn out to be the ultimate doomsday machine.
It's got all the marks of Dr. Strangelove on it.
HAARP is an acronym for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. According to program manager John Hesher, HAARP is a research facility designed to study the ionosphere.
All the military have communications, surveillance, navigation systems whose paths either traverse the ionosphere or reflect from it. And so we need to be very careful about what we know about it and how.
And I just got to say, it is not a ball. It is flat. It is not a ball. It is flat.
How we study it, what we're interested in is what is the effect of a large input of energy on the ionosphere.
The ionosphere is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. It is part of an electromagnetic field that keeps out harmful solar and cosmic radiation. One visible effect of the sun's rays hitting the ionosphere is the aurora borealis, known as the northern lights. The ionosphere also plays a vital role in worldwide radio communication.
Transmission of radio waves across the ocean were quite a surprise when it was first done. People thought there'd be no chance to transmit the signals across the ocean by wire. And
this will cause them to disperse, effectively punching a hole in the ionosphere.
But after you turn the instrument off, this thing kind of moves around and it gets replenished. And within a few minutes, it's back to where you can't even detect that there's a hole anymore.
The Air Force says that manipulating the ionosphere in the effect will allow them to improve the efficiency of communications, navigation, and surveillance systems. But researchers outside the military see HAARP as a high-tech weapon with global implications.
The way I see HAARP as it is right now.
And this guy is someone kind of special. The way he's openly showing what he's involved in. I mean, he got the owl right there. I think that's a skull.
Now, it is a premier, top-notch, high-energy radiophysics experiment, and it has definite military applications.
Journalist Mark Farmer lives in Alaska and has written about the potential impact of HAARP for both Jane's Defense Weekly and Popular Science magazine. He believes that HAARP will be used to take giant X-rays of Earth.
Earth-penetrating tomography is a technique using extremely low-frequency radio waves. Today, in geophysical probing, scientists will use explosives or a machine that thumps the ground to produce these waves, but HAARP will stimulate the auroral electrojet to make an antenna thousands of miles long that will emit these ELF waves.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing that one. Again, that's gonna be in the description. I'm not gonna let the whole one play because I got some more to present. But again, just showing that they have the ability to do this. Now, if that's not enough for you, let me show you something in action. Let me show you one of their man-made machines in action and what it does.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And as it turns out, the cleanest. Now, the most amazing thing is that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. I told you, it's raining. That's unbelievable. Oh, NASA's playing God. It's making its own weather.
You just saw it. Yeah, for real. You just saw it. A machine in action making clouds, artificial clouds, fake clouds, tampering with the things that are of the creator. How you think that's going to turn out? Let me get the next one. Yep. All right. Let's get the next one going.
They are America's first line of defense. Best of friends.
Ready, Captain. Snap of the earth. Here we go.
Fierce competitors.
Very nicely done. Almost as good as me.
Ready to protect our nation against any threat.
Carrying the nukes. You love having the power of God at your fingertips. Not tonight, buddy.
But what if the enemy is one of them?
What the hell are you doing? We got pilots down.
Over here! We got ourselves a broken arrow.
A broken what? What we call it when we lose a nuclear weapon. I don't know what's scarier, losing nuclear weapons, or that it happens so often there's actually a term.
Only thing more dangerous than what he knows.
They believe they've got an exposed core. They got to send in a nuclear emergency search team. By the time they find us, we'll be gone.
Is what he's prepared to do.
$250 million by 0900 Utah time. If you have not... Good God. I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't.
But there's one thing
Smile, boys. We're about to retire.
he didn't count on.
I know his mind works. You gotta let me go after him.
Outstanding, Hal. That's the spirit. Would you mind not shooting at the thermonuclear weapons?
And what are we doing?
If you enter the wrong code 3 times, the nuke goes dead.
Unless, of course, I already thought of that ahead of time. You just activated a nuclear warhead, my friend. The clock is ticking. Care for a Coke or something?
John Travolta.
So I went there to show. I went there to show with that movie Broken Arrow that if a nuclear weapon is detonated underground, it can cause an earthquake. Now, absolutely, again, I want to make it clear, Isaiah 29, the book of Isaiah 29, verse 6 tell you that you will be visited of the Lord of hosts with storms and earthquakes and fires. That's why I made the statement I made. When it's of God, you will know. Man has the capability now, evil men have the capability now to do these things. And they have been done. Yeah, you peeped that, right? Yep. Let me show this one. I got 2 more to go. 2 more to go. And this is right on with what I just presented with the movie Broken Arrow. And see it for yourself. That's from a nuke being detonated underground. Look at that.
Seismic recordings of the test registered a magnitude of 6.8 on the Richter scale as a direct result of the detonation. Over 1,000 aftershocks with magnitudes as great as 4.0 on the Richter scale were recorded within the first 30 days following the blast.
So they show you and give you subtle hints in movies, and you pass it off as just entertainment. But is it really entertainment? Is it really science fiction? And here's the last one. The last one I have. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but again, whatever's being presented will be shared in the description. Salute to everybody that tapped in and that's tuned in right now. I appreciate you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get to it.
In recent years, heightening tensions between Russia and the West have seen the use of nuclear weapons return to discussion. Take a look at this 2020 broadcast from a state-owned Russian TV channel, creatively named Russia 1, in which they explore some options for dealing with Britain in the case of a nuclear exchange.
Погрузить Британию в морскую пучину российский подводный робот-беспилотник «Посейдон». Он приближается к цели на километровой глубине со скоростью 200 км в час. Нет никакого способа остановить этот подводный дрон. Боеголовка на нем.
This is not a movie. This is an actual official of Russia speaking in regards to the sophisticated weaponry that they have and what they can do. This is not a movie.
Мощностью до 100 мегатонн. Взрыв этой термоядерной торпеды у берегов Британии поднимет гигантскую волну, цунами высотой до 500 метров. Такой водяной шквал является еще и носителем экстремальных доз радиации. Пройдя над Британскими островами, он превратит то, что от них, может быть, еще и останется, в радиоактивную пустыню, надолго непригодную хоть для чего.
Setting aside the madness of calmly explaining how you would go about eradicating tens of millions of men, women, and children, complete with graphics and animations, let's have a little talk about this. Firstly, as an Irish man, I have a vested interest in this. You'll probably notice Britain is Ireland's neighbour. Now, we haven't always had the best neighbourly relations, but I wouldn't want to see them get nuked. Partly because I live here. And if you look very closely at this graphic, you may notice that they literally wiped me off the fucking map. What did I ever do to you? Ireland's a neutral country. Does that not matter? Are we just collateral damage? Is this even a realistic depiction of what would happen? Or is this just over-exaggerated propaganda? Let's see. The bomb they're talking about here is called the Poseidon. It's a submarine-launched torpedo designed to be detonated off the coast of port cities and, well, destroy them, obviously. Reportedly, it can carry a warhead with a yield of up to 100 megatons. The most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated was the Soviet Tsar bomber with a yield of 50 megatons. That created a fireball with a radius of around 3.5 kilometers and a total destructive radius of about 35 kilometers.
Why are they showing the New York City area of the map? That's Long Island, that's Manhattan and Queens, and why are they showing that?
The Tsar bomber could actually have had a yield of 100 megatons, putting it on par with the Poseidon, if they had used uranium-238 cladding instead of lead. However, the Soviets decided against a 100 megaton yield as the resulting pollution from nuclear fallout was deemed unacceptable, and it also would have wiped out the release plane and its crew with near certainty. So this raises our first question about the Poseidon. Considering it's launched from a submarine like a torpedo, and shockwaves travel a lot faster and further in water than they do in air, wouldn't the submarine and its crew be destroyed by their own weapon? I mean, if you're launching such a massive nuclear weapon, you probably already know that life for you after this point is not going to be sunshine and rainbows. But what crew in the world would press the button that absolutely guarantees that the submarine they're traveling on is about to be crushed like a tin can? Well, the Poseidon is like a torpedo, but it's not really a torpedo. It's more like a drone. Once it's launched, it can travel under its own power and has a guiding system that allows it to maneuver itself. It's basically like its own autonomous submarine. It has a range of up to 10,000 kilometers, and although this broadcast put its speed at around 200 kilometers per hour, more recent information suggests it's closer to 100 kilometers per hour. Regardless of what its top speed actually is, that's not really how it would travel. With a range of 10,000 kilometers, you can fire this thing pretty far away from your target. But if it's zooming through the water at above 100 kilometers per hour, it's going to be pretty easy to detect. It's estimated a Virginia...
All right, so again, the whole thing will be in the description and you can check that out. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that most things that are presented as science fiction, you should keep an open mind to be able to pull out the reality and possibilities of what's being presented. I say mostly, you know, they might be over embellishing, you know, with the movies, but the possibilities is there, and we've seen that with Outbreak during the time of the quote-unquote pandemic. Even with that being said in the clip, 19 deaths. I don't find coincidental, right? So with that, I want to say salute, Godspeed. Thank you for tuning in, for tapping in. Be back next week, God willing, with another one. Probably continuing on with the same topic. If you got any questions, feel free. Let me leave the email. You got any questions outside of what we went through? Email's right there. Salute. Thanks for tapping in. As always, it's God time. Peace.